we are moving on to the next chapter, that is volume 2, chapter number 10, redemption of debentures. So we already discussed issue of debentures. We learned different journal entries at the time of issue of debentures. So now we will move on to redemption, which is again a small chapter, not like shares. Debentures chapters are easy compared to shares, but again this is important. So first we will discuss what is the meaning of redemption. Have you heard the term redemption? Redemption means repayment. See, in the chapter issue, what did we do? We issued debentures to the public, we means the company, and we raised money, isn't it? We borrowed money from the public, and as a proof we gave a document, and that written document is called debenture. Now it's the reverse. We are going to repay the amount borrowed we will pay them back, and we will get our debentures back from the debenture holders, or they are the creditors of the company because we have borrowed money from them. Okay, so now they won't be creditors, I mean no more creditors will be there after redemption or after repayment. So for starting the redemption process, the first step is creation of DRR. So now what is DRR? That is the question. DRR means debenture redemption reserve. So the name itself indicates the meaning. It is a reserve set aside. Usually you will set aside reserves out of profit. Profits which is available usually for declaration of dividend. That profit will be usually used for giving dividend or distributing dividend. So out of that profit, now we are keeping aside, setting aside some amount as reserve for the purpose of redemption of debentures. That is called DRR. So you can write the meaning. It's a reserve set aside out of profits available for declaration of dividend for the purpose of, from that you are taking a part now and keeping it as reserves for the purpose of redemption of debentures. So that is debenture redemption reserve, which is a specific reserve. The amount can be utilized only for the purpose of redeeming debentures. So now we have certain rules like how much to be transferred to DRR. We are keeping aside some amount out of profit, isn't it? So now the question is how much to be transferred to DRR. So the rule is, if nothing is mentioned in the question, you have to transfer a minimum of 10% of total face value of outstanding debentures. This point you must remember throughout this chapter. 10% of total face value, that also you have to remember. Don't take premium and all. Total face value of outstanding debentures. Outstanding debentures means the debentures which we are going to redeem. 10% of total face value of outstanding debentures. Suppose we are going to redeem debentures worth rupees 10 lakhs. Always take the amount, okay, not the number. Into 10% means we will transfer an amount of 1 lakh to DRR. Understood? So that is the basic rule. If nothing is mentioned, you transfer 10% of total face value. Now, if the question says like redemption is done completely out of profit. If redemption is done completely out of profit, then you should transfer 100% of, you have to take down these rules, 100% of total face value of outstanding, OS means outstanding, okay. You write the complete term, outstanding debentures. When should we take 100%? When it is written like redemption is done out of profit. Okay. So we have different methods in which amount can be transferred to DRR. Suppose nothing is transferred to DRR. No amount is transferred. That means from profit we are not transferring anything to DRR. That means redemption is done completely out of capital. We can redeem debentures. See, redemption means we are repaying the amount, isn't it? So for that we have to take the amount. We have to take the amount. If we want, we can take the amount out of capital. Okay, so that is one method. Then if we want, we can take it out of profit. So when you take it out of profit, and if we are transferring 100% of face value of outstanding debentures, that means redemption is done completely out of profit. If nothing is transferred to DRR, that means nothing is being taken from profit, nothing is transferred to DRR, meaning is redemption is done completely out of capital. Okay, you have to remember only these rules. I just explained the concepts. Then there is redemption out of capital and out of profit. That means suppose you are transferring some amount, a part amount, that means part amount of outstanding debentures to DRR, like 10% you transferred. That means redemption is done out of profit and out of capital. Understood? So, if some amount is transferred to DRR, that means like 10% is transferred to DRR. That means redemption is done out of capital and out of profit. If 100% is transferred to DRR, meaning is completely out of profit. If nothing is transferred to DRR, meaning is it is done out of, redemption is done out of capital. Okay. Then there are certain companies who are exempted from DRR creation. So that also you have to remember, because the question will be based on this. So there are certain companies exempted from DRR. One is All India Financial Institutions. Okay, All India Financial Institutions. Then second one, you can take it down, banking companies. Then other financial institutions, listed and non-listed companies, which includes basically NBFC and HFC. Yes, these are companies exempted from creation of DRR, which you should remember very carefully. Exempted means they need not create DRR. All India financial institutions, banking companies, other financial institutions which comes within this Companies Act, then listed and non-listed companies, which includes mainly NBFC and HFC. NBFC means non-banking financial companies. You can write the full form there, non-banking financial companies. HFC means housing finance companies. The full form is there in your textbook also. Now, listed companies means those companies whose names are listed on stock exchange. Okay, so listed companies means those names are listed on stock exchanges. Non-listed means they are not listed on stock exchanges. So these companies can trade in securities, these listed companies. So listed and non-listed companies including NBFC and HFC need not create DRR, but you write like unlisted. Okay. Companies required to create DRR, that means unlisted companies other than NBFC and HFCs. Okay, that means non-NBFCs and non-HFCs should create DRR, even though that is unlisted company. If it is non-NBFC, that means it is not NBFC or it is not HFC, those unlisted companies must create DRR. Understood? So that you should remember, unlisted companies other than NBFCs. If it is NBFC or HFC, such unlisted companies need not create, but other than that, other unlisted companies must create DRR. They will specify in the question that it is a non-NBFC or it is a non-HFC. That means you should create DRR. These rules you must study very carefully in this chapter. We have certain rules, certain proportions, percentages. So rules you have to learn carefully. Rest is easy. Okay. Yeah. So that is the first step, that is creation of DRR, and these are the rules which you have to follow. So all these you have to take it down. And now these unlisted companies other than NBFCs, how much they will transfer to DRR? The same rules that we discussed. If nothing is mentioned, you transfer 10% of face value, or if it is completely out of profit, you transfer 100%. Okay, rules are same. Next heading you write. So DRR is over. The problems will work out. Next is DRI. Okay, that is debentures redemption investment. Debentures redemption investment, DRI. That means investment. The company is going to invest its amount in some securities, like securities of central government or state government. In specified securities, you have to invest the amount. In specified securities, usually meaning is securities of central government. You can write specified securities means securities of central government or state government, then or as deposits with scheduled banks. That is also an investment. When you deposit your amount in your bank account, that is a kind of investment. So that is also investment, like as deposits with scheduled banks. So that is investments which you are going to do, and there is rule regarding this particular DRI also. For DRI, the rule is minimum of 15% of, so DRR was 10, here it is 15, of total face value of outstanding debentures to be redeemed this year. To be redeemed this year. So this particular term is very important, that is to be redeemed this year. And DRI must be created on or before 30th April of this year. Okay. Suppose we have debentures worth, like outstanding debentures worth rupees 10 lakhs. Okay. This will be redeemed in 2 installments. That means in the first year, how much will you redeem? You will redeem only half, that is 5 lakhs. Now when you create DRR, what is the rule? 10% of total face value of outstanding debentures. That means 10% of 10 lakhs you will transfer to DRR. 1 lakh you will transfer to DRR. Okay. Now regarding DRI, what is the rule? 15% of total face value of outstanding debentures to be redeemed this year. So this year, how much we are going to redeem? Are we redeeming entire 10 lakhs? No. We plan to redeem in 2 equal installments. So this year, we will be redeeming only 5 lakhs. So you should do computation like 15% into 5 lakhs. That is why this term is very much important, to be redeemed this year. Suppose you are planning to redeem entire 10 lakhs this year, then you do 15% of 10 lakhs. You understood? So this point you must remember. to be redeemed this year, but for DRR it's on the total. Then the date for DRR, or when should we invest? It is on or before 30th April of this particular year. That date also important, because when you write journal entries, date columns you have to fill, and DRI must be done on or before 30th April of that particular year which we are dealing with. Okay. So that is regarding DRI. Now we will see what all companies are exempted from DRI, or what all companies require DRI. See, usually those companies which is not creating DRR will not create DRI also, or will not invest. So the above listed companies, like above mentioned companies like All India Financial Institutions, banking companies, other financial institutions, unlisted companies, that is NBFCs and HFCs, which are not creating DRR will not create DRI also. But listed companies, see, listed companies, did they create DRR? No, but they should invest, because listed companies means companies whose names are listed on stock exchanges, they are dealing with securities, they should invest in securities. So they should create DRI, though they are not creating DRR. That you should remember. Then non-NBFCs and non-HFCs, should they create DRR? Sorry, should they create DRI? Yes, because they have created DRR, isn't it? Unlisted companies, that is unlisted non-NBFCs and non-HFC that we discussed already, they are creating DRR. So they are required to create DRI also. So this is the point you have to remember. Listed companies are not creating DRR, but since they are dealing in securities, they should invest in DRI, debentures redemption investment. Then I forgot to tell you one point under DRR. Just take DRR. Okay. There is one more section under DRR creation, that is, if it is partly convertible debentures, or we will write under exempted category. For partly convertible debentures, DRR must be, or DRR need not be created okay. Partly convertible means a part of these debentures can be converted into shares, that is called partly convertible debentures. So if they are getting transferred, or if they are getting transformed into shares, should we create DRR on such part? No need, because they became shares, you need not create DRR, that is for redemption of debentures only. So those debentures which can be converted into shares, if it is fully convertible, nothing to be created. If it is partly convertible, that part which we are converting into shares, on that part you need not create DRR. Whereas for that non-convertible part which are still remaining as debentures, you should create DRR. Okay. Am I making you confused? You need not worry too much. You just remember that rules like 10% for DRR, 15% for DRR. At least these 2 points you remember. And if it is completely out of profit, it is 100%. So these 3 points you remember for the time being. So now what we discussed here is, if it is partly convertible, if it can be converted into shares, that means it became shares. Now should we create DRR on that? No, DRR means it is for redemption of debentures. If something has become shares, so on that part you need not have DRR. So that is also exempted. Okay, so what is required, or which company is required to create DRR? Unlisted companies, other than NBFCs and HFC, and these are required to create DRI also. And other than that, listed companies also should invest or also should create DRI. So these are the basic rules. Now we will write journal entries. So you give the heading methods of redemption of debentures. Okay, methods of redemption of debentures. See, just like we discussed now, the 10 lakhs, if you want, you can redeem in the very first year, or else you can redeem as 2 installments. So we have 2 methods to learn here in this chapter. So methods of redemption of debentures, first one is lump sum method, the second one you write in installments. Journal entries are same in both methods. Only thing is, if it is lump sum, if you are taking 2 years to redeem, you will have to repeat the entries again and again. That's all. Entries are same. So we will see what's the first step. The first step, we know that it is creation of DRR. Okay, debenture redemption reserve we have to create. The question is, when should we create DRR? Suppose the date of redemption, we are planning to redeem debentures on 31st March 2020. Okay, so that date we are planning to repay the amount. Are we going to start the process on this date? No, we will have to start the process. We will have to transfer DRR, we will have to invest DRI, then only you can repay the amount on 31st March 2020. Okay, so the process must be started well in advance. And the date of creation of DRR is 31st March before the date of redemption. Okay, so this is the date of redemption, and DRR will be created on 31st March before this date, that means 31st March of 2019. Understood? So 31st March before the date of redemption. Suppose we are planning to redeem on June 30th 2020. So what will be the date for DRR, or when will you start creation? You will start 31st March before this date of redemption. So 31st March before this date means it will be 31st March of 2020. Understood? After March only we have June, isn't it? So if date of redemption is June 30th 2020, before that 31st March means in the same year, 31st March of 2020. Okay, at least be thorough with journal entries even if you don't know how to write dates. But dates are also certain questions, like they will ask you to write with dates. Okay, journal entries always we need to write with dates. So actually that also very much important, but at least be thorough with journal entries. Yes, so we will write journal entries. You can give the heading accounting entries. So the first is creation of DRR, and suppose we planning to redeem debentures on June 30th. So process will start on 31st. You can write specimen entries with the date. So we will start the process on 31st March 2020. That is, we are going to create DRR. So from where will you take amount? From your profit balance. You have 3 options. You can take it either from general reserve, usually we will be taken from P&L, but all these options are there. So you write journal entries like this: general reserve account debtor, dividend equalization reserve account debtor, then statement of P&L account debtor to debentures redemption reserve. Understood? So you can, usually we will be writing in questions, we will be just transferring from P&L, from profit you will transfer. But these options also we have: general reserve, dividend equalization reserve, statement of P&L to DRR. Dividend equalization reserve means it is a reserve kept aside out of profit. Like if you have surplus profit in one particular year, you will transfer some amount out of this profit to this dividend equalization reserve. So suppose in the next year you are having a loss. Okay, you incurred a loss in the next year. So you don't have amount or profit to pay the dividend. So what can we do? Already we have set aside some amount in dividend equalization. Last year we had enough and more amount. So that time we have transferred some amount to dividend equalization reserve. So what can we do in this year? We can make use of this equalization reserve amount and we can pay the dividend. So that is for stabilizing or equalizing the dividend to ensure that regular payment of dividend can be done. Okay. So that is dividend equalization reserve. From that also you can create or you can transfer amount to DRR. So that is the first step. Second step is creation of DRI, and here what is the rule? What is the rule for transferring to DRR? Minimum of 10% of total face value of outstanding debentures, or if it is completely out of profit it will be 100%. Now DRI, the rule is 15% of total face value of outstanding debentures to be redeemed this year, that you have to remember. Then what is the date I told you? That should be done on or before 30th April of this year. That means if nothing is mentioned, like you can give the date like 1st April of this year, that is 2020. Understood? On or before 30th April, so it can be done on 1st April if nothing is mentioned in the question. So journal entry will be when you invest, what is moving out? It is the cash or bank moving out. So your entry will be you are investing, no, bank is moving out or cash is moving out. DRI account debtor to, you can write cash also, but we will be using the term bank. So DRI debtor to bank, that is second journal entry. That is investment done, 15%. Then next is we are going to start the redemption process. So redemption process, I mean the redemption date is, what is the redemption date we wrote? 30th of June 2020. So from here onwards you will write the date of redemption. Okay, so we are starting the redemption process well in advance. On 31st March, before this date we created DRR. Then the same year before 30th April we invested in DRI. Now on the date of redemption, what should we do? We need amount because we have to repay the amount, isn't it? So since we need to repay the amount, we need some amount. For that we will sell this investment. Okay, we have to sell the investment, get the amount. So what will be the entry? The reverse entry you will write bank account debtor to DRI. The narration for this entry can be realization of investment. Here what is the narration? DRI created or investment made in specified securities. Here what you can write as narration? Investment realized. We are getting the amount. We are selling investment, getting the amount. So the entry will be reverse, bank to DRI. Then what should we do now? Shouldn't we repay this? Still we haven't repaid the amount to the debenture holders. So before making payment to debenture holders, we have to cancel certain accounts. See, at the time of issue, you remember the accounts that we have opened there. You can just turn your pages and see if you don't remember. We have written at the time of issue like 2% debentures, isn't it? When you issue debentures, you have written or you have credited 2% debentures. Then when debentures are redeemed at premium, at the time of issue you have credited 2 premium on redemption, isn't it? Then debited loss on issue with the same entry, but that loss on issue, do you remember we have entered or we have written entries for writing of this loss, statement of P&L debtor to loss or to discount, that we have written off already. So loss we have cancelled already, but this percentage debentures and this premium on redemption is still there. So now at the time of redemption, you should cancel these 2 accounts. So again on the date of redemption, from here onwards you write the date of redemption. We will cancel this percentage debentures account and this premium which we have credited at the time of issue. So now we are going to cancel all these. All these are payable to whom? Who is your creditor now? To debenture holders. So cancel percentage debentures and premium on redemption, and you have to pay the amount to debenture holders. Then it is, what should we do now? We have to make the payment. See, suppose there is no premium account, like you haven't redeemed or you are not planning to redeem at premium, then you just have to write percentage debentures to debenture holders. Depending on the question, you have to make changes. Now we will make the payment. So that is debenture holders account debtor to bank account. So now we paid the amount. So now actually almost your redemption process is getting over. Finally, if there is any balance in your DRR, okay, now the redemption got over, no. Should we keep that DRR like that? No, because it is a specific reserve and it can't be utilized for any other purpose. So if you keep the amount in DRR and now the redemption has got over, you can't make use of this DRR balance. So what should we do? Transfer DRR balance to, you have to transfer DRR balance to general reserve. So that is again on the date of redemption, you will transfer the balance in DRR to general reserve. What is the advantage of this? You can now make use of this amount for any purpose. Okay. So we created DRR, then we invested, then we realized bank to DRI, then we cancelled percentage debentures debtor, premium on redemption debtor to debenture holders, then we paid the debenture holders. So debenture holders debted to bank, balance in DRR was transferred to general reserve. So 6 entries are there. If you understand the concepts, if you understand the steps, it's very easy, no need to by heart. So you try to understand the concepts and learn, don't simply by heart journal entries, because you will forget. There are so many rules, so many percentages, so you will get confused. So understand and learn. Illustration 1 I will just explain, you can work it out. Uniball, a listed company, okay. So listed company, should they create DRR? No need, but they are supposed to create DRI. Issued on 1st April 20,000 9% debentures redeemable by draw of lots as under. That means they are redeeming in installments, not together. Then it's written like during the year ending 2017 they are redeeming only 15%. The next year they will redeem 25, then 15, then 25, then 20%. So that is how they are planning to redeem. So in installments they are redeeming. What should be the minimum investment? So that means DRI amount is what they are asking to meet the requirements and rules before the redemption. And when? There is a last question like when. So question is, when they should create DRI in each of these following cases, how much they should invest. Okay, the date and the amount of DRI is what they are asking in this question. Date also you have to show, amount of DRI also you have to show. I will just explain 2 transactions. First one, see 2017 31st March you are going to redeem. When should we invest? What is DRI date? Always on or before 30th April, and if nothing is specifically mentioned, you take it as 1st April and it should be 1st April or 30th April 2016. You can't write 2017 because 2017 we have to redeem, we have to repay on 2017. Are you going to create DRI on 2017 April 1st? See, we are going to redeem on 31st March 2017. 1st April 2017 means it is next day or it is next year. It is after your date of redemption. So DRI must be created before this date of redemption, and it is to be done on or before 30th April. You can write the date like 1st April 2016 or 30th April 2016 also fine. Understood, but the year is 2016, not 17. So DRI always on or before 30th April, can be 1st April or 30th April, but it should be anyways before the date of redemption. Then The second one, 31st March 2018, you are redeeming on 31st March 2018. So DRI must be created on or before 30th April, before this, that is 1st April or 30th April you can write 2017. Okay. Now regarding the amount to be invested, what is the rule? 15% of total face value of outstanding debentures to be redeemed this year. In the first case, in 2017, how much we are going to redeem this year? We are going to redeem 15%. That 15% is not the rule. Okay, that 15% is the amount you are going to redeem this year. What is the total debentures you have? You have 20,000 debentures of rupees 100. That means you have debentures worth rupees 20 lakhs. This is the total amount. Out of this, in 2017, you will be redeeming only 15%. From where did you get 15%? It's given in the question. That is 2017, you are going to redeem 15%. So compute 15% on this 20 lakhs. That is the amount you are redeeming this year. That means amount is 3 lakhs. On this 3 lakhs, DRI will be created. That is, the rule is 15%. Here, accidentally, these two became 15. This is not the rule. What we wrote here, the second one what we wrote is the rule of DRI. Understood? What is this 3 lakhs? That is the amount you are going to redeem this year. Altogether it was 20, but this year we are redeeming only 15. Next year how much we are redeeming? Next year we will be redeeming 25%. So next year it will be 20 lakhs into 25%. Then you will compute 15%, which is the basic rule. Understood? So I hope you understood these basic concepts. In the next video I will be working out problems.